Hello, everyone. Matt Pfeiffer here. Just wanted to take a moment and touch base with all of you on a real hot topic in the news in the last week or two. But first and foremost, I hope each and every one of you is doing as well as possible in light of the current circumstances. I hope you are all safe. I hope you are all healthy. I hope you are not medically impacted by this virus at this moment in time. And I hope that as far as work and life and everything else, that this is impacting you as little as it possibly can for your particular set of circumstances and job and options and everything else. But the real hot topic I wanted to touch base on is this notion of a mortgage forbearance. This is a concept that has been around for years. We lived through this locally back in 2017, where forbearance became an option for people after Hurricane Irma. The common and big misconception on forbearance is that this is not free money, and these are not free or skipped mortgage payments that you don't need to address in the very near future. They are not kicked down the road and added on to the back end of your mortgage or just to be paid off if you sell your home at some point down the road. Traditionally and historically, if you take advantage of a mortgage forbearance scenario, when that forbearance period is over, and let's just say it's 90 days, you can not make a mortgage payment for 90 days. In the fourth month, you are going to be responsible for making 4 mortgage payments. The 3 that you skipped, and then the 1 for the current month due. Now, whoever crafted this idea for someone to have an option to take advantage of due to financial hardship, personally, it makes no sense to me. If you are out of work and not generating a paycheck, to think that you could not make 3 months of housing payments and then because you got back to work last week or 2 weeks ago, be able to come up with 4 mortgage payments because you just got your first paycheck after being out of work for a couple of months is absolutely insane to me. Most people do not have the luxury of their paycheck being large enough to account for a third of a year's worth of mortgage payments. Now, deferment is another option where that is a scenario where those payments are possibly tacked on to the end of the loan. But that is not normally what someone is going to be signing up for when they call to inquire about skipping some mortgage payments due to being out of work or financial hardship or whatever the circumstances may be that are allowing you to be eligible to possibly qualify for a forbearance plan. The best advice I can give you, because depending on your loan, whether it's an FHA loan, a VA loan, a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac loan, what your loan servicer offers, what your circumstances are, and what the details of that financial relief for this moment in time may be, you need to absolutely clarify that specifically, directly on the phone with a representative from your mortgage servicing department. I'm going to tell you right now that when you go to reach out, whomever it may be, expect a long wait time. Grab a drink, grab a game, be ready, be comfortable. Caliber Home Loans, one of the nation's biggest lenders, I heard that they had over 8,000 phone calls one day earlier this week. So with this kind of volume of people calling in, you can expect wait times to be ridiculously long. I have heard some as much as a half a day or more just on hold on the phone. And when you look at the unemployment claims filed last week, it was somewhere around 3.3 million. I mean, just logically speaking, if even half of those people are trying to reach out to their lender to find out what they can do because they are now out of work, you can expect just absolutely ridiculous wait times when you make that call. But it is critically important that you do so. Do not just assume that you don't have to make a mortgage payment, because that is going to immediately impact your credit report, and it is not going to work out well for you. On a traditional forbearance plan, again, if you have money in savings and you just want to keep that money in the bank now for the peace of mind and the comfort that you may need it over the next few months, but you are eligible to take advantage of forbearance, and at that point in time, let's say 4 months down the road, when you need to make up all those payments, you know that your savings account would allow you to do so, then maybe that's an angle that you can pursue. But if that's not the case, I would reach out to family, see if there's any way you have anybody in your circle that could help you stay current on your mortgage instead of taking advantage of a traditional forbearance scenario. Right now, there are talks taking place at Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac up in Washington about some, new possible options to help people in light of what's going on right at the moment. And from what I'm hearing, these plans may be truly legitimate beneficial plans where the skipped payments now do just get added onto the back of the loan and would be a balloon payment at the end of the 30 years or at the end of the 15 years, or just added to your payoff if you were to sell or refinance your home at some point down the road. There's also the aspect of how this impacts your credit report. While the spirit of any of these programs and any that may be forthcoming is that it should not damage you individually on your credit report for taking advantage of the program, it's a bit of a precarious situation. The lender can't very well report that you made your payment on time because you didn't. So it's kind of like a void in the credit reporting system. So while the lender may not be reporting that you're late, they cannot report either that you're on time, because that's not the case. So how is the credit industry in terms of the scoring models going to read this data when basically just a blank shows up for a given month or 2 months or 3 months? The other thing to take into consideration is if you have an escrow account as part of your mortgage payment, any payments that you do not make now means you are also not putting in your monthly allocation toward property taxes and homeowners insurance and possibly flood insurance if that applies to you. So now when those bills come due throughout the course of the upcoming year, the lender under federal obligation is still going to make your annual insurance premium payment and your annual tax bill payment. But now your escrow account is going to be upside down, and then you're going to be looking at that adjustment in your payment down the road to recapture the shortage in your escrow account. So from the standpoint of skipping or not making mortgage payments, there are really just a lot of adverse impacts that could potentially come into play by doing that. Keep your eyes and ears peeled to newspapers, news outlets, any social media outlets you follow, because there could very well be some information coming out of DC before too long with some viable options that may really genuinely help people in light of what's going on at the moment. But until we see that, again, please just make it an absolute specific point to reach out to your specific loan servicer, speak with a human being about the absolute exact details of what it means to you if you go into a plan to start not making mortgage payments right now, so that you do understand the long-term repercussions and aren't finding yourself confused or surprised 4 months from now or 6 months from now when you're expected to be writing a large check, possibly for all those payments that you conveniently, didn't have to make over the prior 3 or 6 months. At any point, if you have any questions, would like to discuss anything with me, I'd be more than happy to share any insight that I can. But again, depending on your loan program, who is servicing your loan, and what your unique circumstances are, I don't know that I can absolutely get you a definite answer, but again, I'd be more than happy to try. Hope you are all doing well once again. Make it a great day, and I will look forward to chatting with you if any of you would like to chat with me. Take care. Be well.